not my fun.
Welcome.
Hello! In this episode, we're making this. This is your standard tube notcher with an extra slide function. Couldn't find one online I liked, so I thought, well, let's make one. Why not? And this is how I did it. Enjoy. That's basically where we're going. You can see it comes back about 5 degrees. Oh, that's 15 degrees, should I say? And that'll go right round flat. It will go a little bit further, but I don't know why you would want to go a bit further. But like I say, if you put the I'll try getting that out of the way a little bit. Say you wanted to go right round, you could almost do it like that if you wanted to. Don't know why you would, but basically the whole reason for me making my own is the lateral vertical movement. That one there. That is going to make it one sweet piece of kit. So I'm making this with, let's go back to the screen quickly. So I'm making this with a pillar drill, which is shite, shall we say, and an angle grinder, cordless drill, and a bench grinder. So fingers crossed I get to the end. And I'm going to have a bit of a sweepstake of how many weeks it's going to take me. Like I say, because I've only got an angle grinder to cut this stuff up. No bench saw or anything like that, no bandsaw. So I might as well buy some angle grinding discs while I'm at it, because I'm going to need them. Anyway, on that note, let's crack on with the build. Yes. This is going to be cut number 1. Starting to smell in here a little bit now, so I'll do the last cut and I'll have to open the door up, I think. It's getting a bit hot now. We have the pieces here. Those 2 bits, something like that. That'll be welded. The height adjustment block, and then the bit that'll do all the twisty right round the rubbishy bollocks, and then the main part there. So that go on there. Using the non-angle grinded edges is the best edges. I'll tidy them up a little bit, but really not worried about the edges too much, like I say, because they're so on with a milling holes drill. What's the chances of this actually being square? Yeah, doesn't actually look too bad, so let's do the first hole. This one's a bit noisy, so cue music. And that is just about enough of that. Yummy hands. So what we have here is what can only be described as a bloody mess. So that's the whole plates. Still got to open those up to 8.5 for an M10 by 1.5 pitch thread, and then tap them all. Yay! Hi. Day 2. Found safety glasses. Never do angle grinding or drilling without safety glasses. Right, first part's done. That's the main plate with the jigging holes. Obviously I still need to tap those, but that was about 2 hours worth of drilling on that one part at the moment, so I'm leaving the tapping until later. I'm starting on the next block, which is putting the slots up here. So I've got the 2 end holes. I'm going to drill first and make those sure those are 10mm before I start doing the slot, and then drill out a load of rest, fire the rubbish out of it, and see how well that bit turns out. Here we go. Drilling marathon, take 2. So I've drilled the 4 main holes. I'm going to open those up to 10mm, just so that's a nice rounded end before I start doing anything else. So I've changed my mind. I'm going to angle grind that out. I'm just going to see what happens, and might have to make another one afterwards, but that's what I do. That's just the nature of YouTube. So, here we have, really got to stop saying so, just adjust the camera. There we go, let's get out of it. There we go. So, did it again. That is the slide plate done. Lovely jubbly. I'll say just about 2-3 hours of hand filing, and we're looking at bob on. Is he going to pick that up? Probably not. Bob on 10mm, and obviously the most important thing is the pitch when doing a dual slide, and that is bob on 50mm. So that's a win. Take this off. So that's the basic shape. I'm gonna round it off. I've got my bench grinder. Give it a go with that. Tidy that up. Then we just got to drill the hole. Yay! The third piece. That's going to be like the swivelly bit with the guide on the tip there, on the top, kind of swings out and stuff. And that's one of our cats. Yeah, so pretty pleased with it so far. Obviously that's going to be the bolt hole that we need to tighten up. So the other half, sorry, the last piece of the puzzle, that bit, I'm going to need quite a nice threaded hole in there, so I can pinch it up tight to stop it changing the angle. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to do the angles yet, but I might just get the protractor out and do some scribes on the top of this block. So we need to radius that back corner off, which is going to be probably the worst job. And then drill and tap into there as well, so it lines up with that bit. So, we are making progress. I've got like a million holes to tap, so I'll do that at the end anyway. And yeah, let's crack on with that bit. Yeah, it's pretty square. Square enough I can live with it anyway, so. Use the old height gauge, so 15mm. Okay, so I've reached the bottom of that hole. Went down to about 45 in the end. And you'll notice when I'm drilling, I'm stopping and starting, I'm going so far. Basically that just breaks up the chips. So rather than having like massive long piggy tails, you get like smaller piggy tails come off, which are obviously more manageable, and they don't get wrapped around the drill. So here we have first two holes, 8.5mm, about 45mm deep. So that's the third hole drilled. So we're going to go and tap those now. Need to just phrase the top of the hole. Basically a small countersink to suit what you tap in. Sorry about that, just been raided by the kids. So here we go. And now the cat's come in. A little bit of oil on the tap, not just a splash. Possibly wouldn't hurt to put a drill down side because it is quite a deep hole. Little dribble. Then the first few turns are the critical ones. So stand back, make sure you're level. And again, same as the drill. It's always best to back turn a little bit. Just breaks up the swarf so it comes out easier. So it's quite a deep hole, this one, so, and you can usually tell you're through because it gets a bit easier, and that's as far as that tap will go anyway. So because this block is basically 25mm thick. So there you have it. A beautifully tapped hole. So you need to phrase the back off. Again, fancy word for a small countersink. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Looks quite tidy all the way through. So now, for those two. These ones are going to be a little bit more difficult because these are blind holes. And in an ideal world, I would have a spiral flute tap, which then as you're tapping in, the swarf comes out the top. This is all I've got, so what I'm going to do is just basically do it a bit at a time. Again, small countersink, phrase as you want to put it, tap of oil. There we have, wait for it to focus, tapped holes all the way to the bottom, then that one there. So what I'm going to do, since I've got the tapping kit out, so I've tapped a few holes now. Feels like a million, but it's not. And the knurling was starting to dig into my hands. So I've just put some bits of rubber pipe on the end. Hopefully that should help. You've joined me on the last tapped hole of the plate. Probably only been probably an hour. Job done. That is a lot of tapped holes. But good job. I seem to spend more time tidying up than I do actually making the damn thing. So I've marked up the block. I've done a test fit, that's what those like got swirly marks are. Just going to cut the corners off to where we need for the extra swing. Those edges, so they're not perfect, but it's good enough what I want it for. This will be the second test fit. That took as long as I thought it would. Just need to weld the two together and voila. So I'm just getting it ready for welding. Just jigging it up. Say jigging it up. Making sure it's all square. And not annoyingly, there's a little bit of a gap at the top because that side block isn't completely square. So I'm going to cool this down before I melt my hand. I'll see you guys in a sec. Right, the story so far. This is where we've got to so far. We've got the main block, slidey plate. Had a slight issue, as you probably saw in the last 10-30 seconds or so, that the shaft seized. So basically you just had to hand ream it back out again. So that's all nice and smooth now. And I've managed to get the grub screws turned up for the end, so that's nice and tidy. So that's all, really happy with that. That's all ready to go. And it was getting a bit heavy. The next part is making the V-block. So one side. Voila. Right, so now I need to work out where the centre line is going to be in one particular position. What I need to do now is get this in a 45-degree angle against the plate and in the centre line of the main shaft. So that's just sitting there quite well, which is a bit of a luck. But so this has got to be perfectly aligned to what the shaft is doing because of all the different angles I can do. So I've got that locked off right at the bottom. Excuse me. And just need to get that in there level. Right, made a bit of a boo-boo. Forgot to record that. There's no way I'm doing it again. Just filed those two slots in there. Got a bit of a sweat on my brow, as it were. And some of those Should tie in there quite nicely. So basically these will slide into the back, bolt those in position when they're now remote it now with a bit of a tap, and then I can weld those up in position as well. That one is a little bit snug. That one there. At least then I'll know exact position for the centre line of the right. So I need to drag the pillager out now and get those holes in. There we go. 4 holes. Okay, so as usual, I can only find 3 bolts. Right, snap it. Now basically you've got to get this in. Let's get that way, so got to get this in so that slides past. There we go. So that's miles off at the moment. Let's get a longer straight edge. So that's sitting on top of the angle. The gap along there isn't bad. I suppose I could try and measure it, see if it's perfect. So we're talking 12 now. 11.9, so 0.1 run. Pretty sure I can live with that, and if I weld this bottom edge first, that should pull it down anyway. Right, so what we've got here, I have to put sash clamps on it for now. I'd get a couple of dedicated G clamps at some point. 1 3/4 inches, possibly 1.5 inch tube, 1.5 inch, and it's at least a 3mm wall. Yeah, it's 3mm wall, so it's quite a chunky tube really, so it's probably one of the worst things I'm going to be cutting on here. And let's see if she goes. Hopefully she doesn't seize up this time. Right. Now I found the problem, a little bit. Squirt the old good juice. And that is a win. So, and that is it for now. Still need to cut a couple of bolts for the V holder. Slide's working well, doesn't seize this time. Mainly because because of the welding distorted it. I need to ream it back out again. Adjustable slide, adjustable angle. That would say it's quite a chunky tube that was. And it seemed to cope that alright, and it's gone straight down the middle. So that's a win. And a couple of clamps, I suppose. Put 2 clamps on this one, mainly because it's quite a chunky piece of tube and it's the first time using it, so when I start doing lighter stuff, I bet I could probably get away with just the 1. And yeah, hopefully you'll see, well, you will see this in the future being used. And I need to make the next one. It's going to be a box folder. I want something to fold up thin sheets of metal. And so that's going to be the next one on the list. hope you enjoyed watching this, and please leave your comments down below. And there we go. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.